daily life. Let's say you want to achieve something. Okay, you want to have a journey to any place. Okay, for example, you want to go for visit Hari Raya kan for your friend house. Okay, but maybe you can take the car or you can take a bike, go to your friend house. But we did not expect what will happen during the journey. Okay, maybe at that time your car tire will pancit ke, bocor kan, and then car broken, traffic light rosak ke, ataupun ada berlaku accident, banjir and so on. So that's something like we did not expect. Okay, at the end of the day, either you reach to that place or you did not reach to that place. Okay, so that's if you reach to that place, it will be return lah. Okay, return is the rewards we expect to get from that investment. Okay, same goes to the investment. Okay, let's say you have some portion of money. Okay, you want to put your extra money into one of the investment. Okay, maybe the officer or the banker already mentioned that okay, if you invest in this investment, you will get how much percent? Let's say 10%, 18%, 20% for a year lah. Okay, but we did not expect what will be happen after 1 year kan. Maybe during that time the economic crisis happen. Okay, for example macam nowadays we heard about the high inflation. High inflation will impact our country. Okay, and the next few months ataupun next few days. Hello. Yes. Ni saya kelas ni. Sekejap lagi saya call balik. Bye. Sorry. Okay, so just continue. Okay, you have your extra money. You want to put your money into one of the investment product. Okay, so the banker already explained to you. Okay, if you invest your money in this investment, you get some portion of dividend or interest return. Okay, for example, 10%, 18%, or 20%. But during your investment period, we did not know what will be happen kan. Maybe at that time the economic crisis happened. Like nowadays, we heard about the inflation. High inflation will impact our country in the next few months. Okay, so we need to be prepared. Maybe at that time our Bank Negara Malaysia already increased the OPR rate. Okay, overnight policy rate. So once overnight policy rate increasing, so every cost for the bank will be increased. Okay, for example, the loan, if usually we make the installment for our housing loan is 1,500. Maybe after this we need to pay 1,700. Okay, same goes to the investment product. Investment product, once the Bank Negara implement the increasing of OPR, the dividend that will be returned to the customer will be lower because the bank they need to pay higher cost to the Bank Negara Malaysia or to the other financial institution that they borrow their money. Okay, overnight policy rates is referred to the once the financial institution, for example, my bank, so once they want to produce a product for financing, okay, maybe they can use their own sources or they can borrow from other bank for other financial institution. That financing amount, they will incur charges. Okay, for example, the OPR rate. Okay, so that's the cost that the bank need to pay to the financial institution that they borrow their money. So how they can control that one? By charging the customer. Okay, either from the loans or reducing the interest rate or the dividend from the customer investment. So that will be impact. Okay, that's the risk that the customer they will face once they invest their money into the any investment product. Okay, we did not know what will be happen. Okay, macam sekarang ni kalau boleh macam you all maybe tak ada happen lagi kan sebab you all tak bekerja kan. Macam sebelum ni kan dah buat government dah allowed untuk pengeluaran RM10,000 KAWSP kan, EPF. So they expect, government expect customer or people they can keep the money, save the money in this current period lah. Sebab apa? Takut benda-benda macam inflation, high inflation. Okay, we know that our petroleum price already increased. Okay, so how they can cover that is by increasing the RON 97 punya price. Okay, RON 95, they still maintain the price because most of us using the RON 95. Only the rich person use the RON 97. So that's why they increase the RON 97 compared to maintain the RON 95. Right. So that the how government can control that one lah. But that one something like we did not expect what will be happen in the future. Okay, that's called risk. And return is something like anything rewards from our process, the activity process, investment process, the daily process that we want to do, that we achieve something. Okay, either that is positive returns or negative returns. Positive return is something like kalau investment is a profit lah, and then it negative is something like loss. Okay, we expect that we get the at least the principal plus the return, but at the end of the day we get a less than the capital that we invest in the money, in the investment product. Okay, risk is probability of not realize the expected return when making an investment. Every investment has a potential variability in expected returns. The bigger the chances the actual outcome may differ from expected, the greater the risk. Okay, in short, positive relationship happen between risk and return because higher the risk, higher rate of return demanded to compensate the risk assumed. Okay, so there are positive relationship. High risk will generate a high return, and low risk will generate a low return. But some of the company they can achieve, okay, they can invest in the low risk investment, but at the end of the day they can get the high return of the investment. So how they can get that? By using the evaluation that we will cover under this chapter. Okay, they do the evaluation on the standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and then the expected return and variance to calculate the returns. Okay, what are the difference between risk and uncertainty? Okay, risk in Malay is risiko lah. Kalau uncertainty is benda yang kita tidak pasti kan. Risk, probability of outcome that can be estimate, okay, or known. So how they can be estimate? By using the analysis. How we can do the evaluation, standard deviation, and also the coefficient of variation. From each of the project or each of the investment, we can know, we can estimate if we invest on this investment, how much the risk involved. Okay, so that the risk that we can estimate. Uncertainty, probability of outcome that cannot be estimated or not known. Okay, for example, benda yang tidak pasti. When that we can, bila kita akan mati kan, bila kita akan meninggal. Okay, kita tak tahu hari ni ke, esok, tahun depan, bulan depan, 10 tahun lagi, kita tak tahu bila kita akan mati. Benda yang tidak pasti. Melainkan except if we are already diagnosed by doctor lah. Contoh, if you have cancer ataupun penyakit-penyakit yang kritikal, maybe doktor dah bagi tahu, okay, you punya jangka hayat maybe tinggal another 6 months. Okay, so you need to be prepared lah. Okay, so sometimes lepas dah 6 bulan, 7 bulan, 8 bulan start meninggal kan. Maybe kita punya doa ataupun selagi belum sampai ajal, so kita tak mati kan. Benda yang tak pasti, yang kita tak tahu pun bila benda tu akan berlaku. Okay, that's something like we cannot estimate. Okay, 3 categories of risk.
Sir,
Yes.
ada yang request masuk meet sir.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, thank you sir.
Thank you for notifying me. Sudin. Okay, I continue. So there are 3 categories of risk. The first one is risk averse investor. Okay, investor who demands a higher expected return bearing a higher risk. Okay, they want to get something, what they want to get a rewards from what they face. Okay, for example, if they invest 1,000 ringgit to that investment, so they expect they will get how much money to the return. Okay, risk averse investor. How much risk that they face, they expect that they will get the higher return on that. Okay, and then risk indifferent investor, they require no change in return for the increase in risk assumed. So dia tak kisahlah sama ada dia dapat keuntungan, dia dapat return, or they did not get the return, so they did not care. Okay, even though they are face a higher risk on that investment. And risk seeking investor, they accept decrease in return for an increase in risk. Okay, so maybe this investor is very multi-millionaire or billionaire investor lah. Okay, so they did not care. Okay, they want to invest in the high risk investment, but they will expect that the return will be lower. Okay, accept decrease in return for an increase in risk. So some of the risk seeking investor, they are involved on the political and also the reputation sector. Okay, they want to get followers and they want to get attraction from other members, okay, other followers. So this is the risk seeking investor. And then type of risk can be divided into two. One is diversified or unsystematic or specific risk. Another one is non-diversified, systematic or market risk. Okay, so dia ada tiga nama lah untuk each of this risk. We look at the first one, okay, diversified, unsystematic or specific risk. So risk specific to a particular security and can be eliminated through diversification. Okay, so we can manage, we can control this risk. Okay, for example, include the unexpected death of the company's president. Okay, kita ambil contoh lah CEO apa company yang terkenal sekarang yang you all pun faham, you all pun dah tahu kan. Contoh kita ambil Asia lah contoh ni contoh Tony Fernandez. Okay, katakanlah Tony Fernandez CEO of Asia meninggal. Okay, meninggal. So how they want to control that one, how they want to manage the things, benda yang dah berlaku kan. Kalau meninggal, maybe dia akan impact reputation of the company Asia kan. Sebab Tony Fernandez kita tahu dia adalah seorang yang business minded. Okay, so kalau dia buat something, dia akan cuba sampai benda tu berjaya. Okay, macam low cost carrier, semua orang ingat benda tu mimpi saja kan. Tapi bila dia dah buat betul-betul, baru benda tu jadi reality. Okay, baru orang respect lah dia at that time. Okay, tapi benda tu tak bertahan lama sebab COVID kan. COVID-19 2 tahun berlaku, benda tu impact the industry, the flight industry, the tourism industry and so on. Okay, so what next? Tony Fernandez dia fokus untuk buat macam gig punya industry, gig punya business macam Foodpanda, Grab Food and so on. Okay, so that katakanlah berlaku kematian pada Tony Fernandez. So they will impact the reputation of the company, reputation of Asia. So how the company can control that one? By appoint very qualification or very qualified person which have a very huge experience, knowledge and also very reputation persons lah to replace the CEO. Okay, so they can control that things if that thing happen lah to that company. Okay, besides that, contoh yang lain, the lawsuit due to the defect product sold by a company or success or failure in getting contract. Kita ambil contoh yang pertama the lawsuit due to the defect product sold by a company. Okay, let's say the company is very reputable company. Okay, all of the product is very high demand. Only one or two product which is have a defect case lah. Okay, and then the customer complain. Maybe the customer make a claim or they make a lawsuit to that company. Okay, maybe the product is food product ataupun ada poisoning kan yang melibatkan masalah kesihatan and so on. So they saman company tu. Okay, so what the company can do? The company can appoint a good lawyer kan to act on behalf of them, and also they can hire all of the customer yang give a good feedback, a positive feedback. Okay, from a 1,000 product they produce, maybe one or two product which is have a defect. Okay, and the rest 998 maybe they are no problem, all of very high quality product. So they can get a suggestion ataupun they can get a feedback from a good customer kan. So boleh backup diorang in term of the lawsuit, untuk backup daripada dikenakan saman and so on. So that there's something that they can control. Okay, diversified. They can diversify. If this alternative cannot be done, so they can use other alternative to control the risk. Okay, so the second one is non-diversified. systematic or market risk, which is caused by events that affect the stock market as a whole, and it cannot be eliminated by diversification. Dia buat macam mana sekalipun, alternatif yang ada, dia buat macam mana, benda tu tak boleh nak elak. Dia need to face that risk. Okay, for example, war. Okay, kita tahu sekarang Rusia and Ukraine kan berperang. Rasa dah lah 2 ataupun dah 1 month, lepas 1 month kan, dia already benda tu dah berlaku, the war event, okay, between Rusia and Ukraine. So during that war, so what will be impact most? The petroleum price. Petroleum price will be increased because we know that Russia generate a lot of petroleum supply, okay, in the world, and also Ukraine, they have food supply, okay, in term of macam gandum kan, apa lagi, sunflower punya minyak and so on. So dia ada impact on that supply. Okay, so bila benda tu berlaku, when that happen, so they will impact sedikit sebanyak negara-negara yang lain yang export ataupun import petroleum daripada Rusia. Okay, for example, kita ambil negara-negara ASEAN contoh, negara-negara ASEAN yang besar, Indonesia, Malaysia, and also Vietnam atau Thailand lah. Okay, so dia ada impact dari segi food supply chain. Okay, food supply chain untuk penghantaran barang-barang daripada satu negara ke negara yang lain, the cost will be increased. Okay, sebab macam kapal dia akan gunakan petroleum, train gunakan petroleum, flight pun gunakan petroleum kan. So dia impact the cost of supply chain. Okay, so once the cost of supply chain increasing, so at the end of the day, they will impact the consumer. Consumer need to pay higher price for that one. Okay, but how we can control that one? We cannot ask Russia to stop war with Ukraine kan, unless our prime minister is very reputable prime minister. All of the leaders heard our voice kan, but we know our stand where kan, kita tahu kat mana kita berada. If you want to voice our concern in United Nation, Pertubuhan Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu, PBB, maybe some of the country can hear, but the rest just ignore what we say. Okay, so we cannot control that things. Okay, but in our country we can control. Let's say before this we import a lot of food product from other country. So now we just focus on our natural resource lah. Okay, so kita bangunkan graduation graduate person atau graduate student daripada agriculture, daripada marketing kan, business, okay, develop produk-produk sendiri kan daripada hasil yang ada kat dalam negara. Contoh macam beras, kalau sebelum ni we import lot from Thailand, so we hired expert daripada agriculture and so on, buat pengeluaran padi 4 kali setahun ke 5 kali setahun ataupun 6 kali setahun kan. So nak banyakkan, kita nak increase the supply of that rice and so on. So that the way that they can control lah. But in term of we want to stop the war is very impossible. Okay, unless we are very reputable, we have reputable prime minister ataupun leaders that can be heard from other country lah. Macam US dengan China pun tak boleh nak halang kan, Rusia dengan Ukraine nak berperang. Okay, other than that, recession something like we cannot stop that recession from happen. Okay, for example, okay, our country before this we have a very stable economic condition. Okay, our political also stable, economic stable. Okay, consumer can go out, can buy things and so on, can do their vacation and so on. So it's very good. Okay, very good condition. Okay, after the let's say during the war happen, so they will impact the food price. Okay, the food price, the petroleum price and so on. Okay, since we import a lot of food supply from other country, so they will impact the currency rates. Our currency rate will be weaker. Okay, so kita perlu keluarkan duit yang lebih untuk kita beli makanan daripada negara-negara asing. Sebab pertukaran currency between ringgit Malaysia and US dollar is very high. Tak perlu jauh lah kita refer kepada Singapore dollar. During my time masa saya sekolah rendah dulu, boleh ingat lagi, one Singapore dollar equivalent tu lebih kurang RM2 kan, RM2 Malaysia. Nowadays boleh cecah RM4, RM4.20, RM4.50. Okay, can you imagine lah kalau gaji 1,800 Singapore dollar. So kalau convert kepada duit Malaysia dah boleh jadi 7,000, 8,000 kan. It's a lot of currency that we need to spend out. Okay, contoh macam orang Johor bekerja kat Singapore, bila dia balik Malaysia, dia buat pertukaran. Okay, so kita kena keluarkan duit yang banyak, sebab tu duit kita jadi weak, duit kita jadi lemah. So how they can control that one is by don't comply ataupun kita tak depends on import. Okay, semua kita akan gunakan natural resources. Bila kita gunakan natural resources and we export our product to overseas, so they can strong our currency. Okay, dia akan buatkan duit kita strong. Okay, sebab country yang lain yang import our product, dia mesti beli kan. Bila beli dia akan keluarkan duit dia, so duit dia akan masuk ke dalam kita punya money transaction ataupun money markets. So dia akan buat kita punya ringgit value ataupun our currency will be stronger and stronger. Okay, so that things that they can control. But in term of recession, we cannot stop it from happen. Benda tu kalau nak datang, dia akan datang je. Macam kita dengar inflation kan, inflation, the high inflation compared to year 1998, year 2008. So this is the very yang risiko lah. Kalau you all tengok cycle economic cycle, biasanya dia akan bergerak 10 tahun sekali. Okay, 10 tahun sekali dia akan berlaku recession. Kalau ikut 1997, dia berlaku next to 2008. Okay, 2008 bubble crisis. Dia impact lah, a lot of bank dia reshuffle, dia buat merge. Okay, kalau sebelum ni kita ada lebih pada 20 banks, so dia merge dah tinggal lebih kurang 10 bank. Okay, then 2018 kita tak terasa sangat kan, 2018 dia tak terasa sangat dia punya ni, then dia impact this year. Okay, 2022 maybe after the COVID-19 punya past impact lah, dia punya past COVID-19 punya impact on in term of financial situation. Okay, sometimes once government implement some policy, for example yang kita nampak dalam masa terdekat ni lah, okay, government ada implement free toll kan, free toll untuk perayaan, and then dia ada implement pengeluaran KWSP. Apa lagi yang dia implement baru-baru ni? Okay, macam semalam dia increase RON 97 but they maintain the RON 95. Okay, sebab dia expect RON 97 punya customer dia akan cover the cost that they will subsidize on the RON 95. And then apa lagi kita nampak yang government buat benda-benda macam ni, this policy, okay, government they want to control the economic situation. Macam yang baru-baru ni pun 2 hari lepas, Bank Negara Malaysia they announce increase the OPR rate kan, semalam ataupun 2 hari lepas dia ada increase OPR rate. So bila dia increase, Bank Negara Malaysia allow bank to increase the OPR rate, so of course lah conventional bank ni dia happy lah, dia akan increase, dia akan announce. Macam Maybank, CIMB pun dah announce malam tadi, so dia akan increase dia punya loan rates. So bila dia announce that things, benda ni dia akan impact dari segi kestabilan ekonomi. Okay, macam contoh free toll tu, dia nak galakkan kita keluar beraya, at the same time dia nak control in term of spending. Okay, so kita tak boleh lah, kalau toll free of course kita tak perlu bayar toll kan, tapi duit kita keluar tempat lain, duit kita keluar dekat minyak, okay, petroleum. Dia nak galakkan rakyat ada jenis tu, so kita dah keluar dekat spend dekat minyak, petroleum. Okay, and then the KWSP RM10,000, they allow customer to withdraw, so they can allow customer to have a spending lah, but need to aware. Okay, yang 10,000 tu dia tak bertahan lama kalau kita tak kawal, kita tak control the spending. Okay, so kena pandai manage the money lah. Maybe kita belanja 2,000, then the rest kita simpan untuk the future punya expenses ataupun future punya risiko ataupun event yang akan berlaku. So kita tak tahu kan, kita did not expect. Okay, so government dia dah nampak tapi dia tak suarakan kebimbangan tu lah. So cuma dia benarkan pengeluaran KWSP 10,000 and then ada toll free dan minyak RON 95 dia tak increase the price. Okay, so still under subsidy. But we as a customer ataupun we as a people, we need to aware lah. If this thing happen, we need to be standby lah. Kena standby. Jangan berbelanja boros sangat. Okay, simpan duit untuk future. Maybe at the time, dia akan kawal dari segi pengeluaran duit, dari segi dia, kalau control untuk buat pinjaman pun dia akan strict. Okay, nak buat pinjaman pun dia akan more strict sebab kalau betul-betul layak, qualified, only you can be approved to apply the loan. If not, the interest will be higher and then you did not have a capacity to pay the loan. Okay, contoh macam sebelum COVID-19, kita bayar installment 1,200, lepas dah increase OPR ni maybe dia dah naik daripada 1,200 bayar 1,500 untuk loan rumah. So it's very dangerous lah kalau kita betul-betul duit ada cukup-cukup je kan. Tak ada duit lebih untuk bayar that extra 300. So dia akan ada default. At the end of the day, lepas 6 bulan tak bayar, rumah akan kena lelo. Kan? So siapa yang suffer? Consumer lah kan yang akan suffer kalau tak pandai manage. Okay, so dengan cerita lagi, Bank Negara Malaysia dia akan announce lagi increasing of OPR rate. Another few months lah, lagi 3 bulan macam tu, another quarter dia akan increase lagi. So yang ni pun tak cukup nak cover. So lagi 3 bulan dia naik lagi OPR rate. So lagi tinggi lagi kan dia punya installment. So it very dangerous. So we need to have a proper plan ataupun proper money management lah for our benefit, for our purpose. Okay, so this is type of risk. And then method for reducing the risk. Okay, this is for our, ni macam kita punya daily life jugalah. So how we can manage the risk? Contoh, we take the insurance policy. Okay, insurance policy in term of our vehicles, our medical health, our personal accident, because we didn't know kan. Contoh sekarang maybe kita is in a good condition lah, good health kan, tak ada apa-apa penyakit. Mungkin lepas setahun kita ada penyakit jantung, okay, especially macam yang dah berumur ada penyakit jantung, ada penyakit darah tinggi and so on. So benda tu memerlukan expenses, memerlukan kos perbelanjaan untuk tanggung in term of medical, in term of the operation and so on. So once we take the insurance policy, so they will cover any cost incurred on that medical expenses. Okay, but to take this insurance policy, we need to spend out lah. We need to pay the premium kan. Every month we need to pay 100, sometimes we pay 200 or 500 for our family kan. So it's very it's very good lah if we take the insurance policy. Okay, because we didn't know what will happen in the near future. And then reduce the volatility of sales and fixed costs. Okay, sales and fixed costs, they are much related. Okay, for example, we take example contoh macam sekarang dah tak ada bazar Ramadan kita ambil orang yang jual goreng pisang kan tepi jalan kan. So apa dia punya fixed cost untuk jual goreng pisang? Sewa tapak, maybe dia bayar RM50 sebulan. Okay, RM50 sebulan, dan dia bayar gaji pekerja. Ada seorang pekerja dia bayar RM20 sehari. Okay, RM20 sehari. Apa lagi fixed cost? Maybe minyak kan, minyak masak, and then pisang. Okay, so that the fixed cost. All of that fixed cost, they still need to pay, okay, whatever happen to their sales revenue. Okay, katakanlah hari tu hari hujan. Hari hujan tak banyak customer kan. So sebab customer macam leceh nak keluar kereta, nak pergi bawa payung, pergi beli dia punya goreng pisang. Okay, so that day maybe the sales will be drop, but they still need to pay the same fixed cost. Okay, contoh dia bayar fixed cost untuk sehari dia bayar dalam RM200. So still kena keluar RM200 sehari. Okay, sebab dia nak bayar gaji pekerja, nak bayar duit minyak dengan duit pisang kan. And then dia nak spend out untuk bayar duit sewa tapak yang monthly tu. So dia nak spend out sehari berapa dia keluar. Okay, okay, compare to very clear weather, contoh macam hari yang cerah kan, hari yang clear semua cantik. So customer pun banyak lah, ramai yang pergi beli goreng pisang kan, waktu panas orang semua lapar. So dia punya sales increasing. Okay, they still pay a same fixed cost to that day lah kan. So whatever happen on the sales, okay, sama ada drop or increasing, so they still need to pay the same fixed cost. So how they can reduce the risk? By reducing the volatility lah. Maksud dia during the increasing of sales, so they cover lah. Okay, sebab dia dah dapat berapa dia target untuk sehari, dia dapat lebih kan. So dia cover lah untuk the next day yang sales drop during the heavy rain ataupun during the very bad weather kan. So they cover the cost from the what they earn on that the very good day. So they cover, okay, on the very bad day punya sales. Okay, so they reduce the volatility of sales and fixed cost. Maksud dia ada saling bantu-bantu lah. Okay, saling kalau waktu sales increasing, so janganlah dia belanja semua kan. So dia cover sikit untuk next day ataupun in the future. Okay, and then diversify the asset portfolio. Okay, instead of we just focus on the one investment, so we can diversify. So our investment product. Okay, kalau biasa you all dengar, don't put all eggs in one basket kan. Sebab kalau basket tu jatuh, semua telur akan pecah. So telur tu macam you punya investment product lah ataupun you punya money kan. Kalau you invest all of your money, okay, katakanlah you punya duit raya kan, you all student ni mesti dapat duit raya, dapat dalam RM1,000. Okay, duit raya untuk tahun ni dapat RM1,000. RM1,000 janganlah invest untuk satu produk, invest untuk produk stock market kan. Janganlah beli saham RM1,000 tu sebab takut saham jatuh, you akan dapat loss. Okay, you diversify you punya investment. Maybe RM100 untuk ASB, another RM100 untuk gold kan, untuk emas, another RM100 for unit trust, okay, another RM100 untuk stock market, okay, and so on. Okay, so you diversify you punya investment. If one investment have a loss, so another investment will cover that loss. Okay, so you diversify the asset in order to reduce the risk. Alright, tool to measure the risk. So this the calculation parts lah. Okay, statistical indicator used to measure risk are standard deviation and coefficient of variation. A high standard deviation or coefficient of variation is associated with the high risk. Okay, ataupun a low standard deviation or coefficient variation is associated with low risk. Maksud dia, this one number C and D, standard deviation and coefficient of variation, they will evaluate the risk. If the value, katakanlah dia ada two types of investment, investment A and investment B. Let's say investment A, the standard deviation is 20%. Investment B, 30%. So the highest value is the highest risk. Okay, so you need to choose the lowest risk lah, the lowest value. Okay, in terms of standard deviation and coefficient of variation. For expected return and variance, this to evaluate the return. Okay, and then besides your daily life atau your daily transaction, your business and so on, you calculate the risk or you calculate the return. This standard deviation and coefficient variation also can be used or not can be used. Memang compulsory to use during your research. Kalau you on sambung master ataupun B, okay, masa you buat analysis parts tu kan, one of the evaluation that you need to do is this one lah, standard deviation, coefficient of variation. So what level of risk of your research? Okay, so this is a compulsory evaluation assessment that you need to evaluate during your research. Sekarang maybe you tak nampak lah, tapi kalau you buat research lepas degree kan, ataupun degree last semester nanti, semester akhir you akan buat report ataupun you buat research, so dia kena buat masukkan this element lah, standard deviation and coefficient variation to evaluate the risk. Okay, so dia tak semestinya apply untuk buat business ataupun nak tahu untung tak untung kan. So untuk buat research pun dia kena calculate the risk. Okay, ataupun this thing, this standard deviation and coefficient of variation, they are easy to use if you use the uh, software. Okay, contoh macam SPSS, PLS, and then ada Stata. Okay, masuk je figure, dia automatic dia boleh calculate the risk. Macam sekarang ni you all kena pakai formula lah kan, sebab this is basic knowledge, you need to use the formula. Bila dah advance nanti you just use the software bila you buat research ataupun during your working time nanti. Okay, so let's go to the first example. Okay, you refer your reference book because I would like to switch on to our whiteboard. Okay, example 1 Example 1, there are two project which is Azia and Beza, and then they provide three economic condition lah during the economic in the good condition, economic in the average, and economic in the bad condition. So this is a probability. Okay, for your information, the total probability, it must be equal to 100 or 1. Okay, kalau 0.35, 0.4 and 0.25 must be equal to 1 lah. Kalau this one must be equal to 100. Okay, they mesti equals either 1 or 100. If not equal, so you need to find another one probability lah until they enough to cukup 100 ataupun 1. So you kena find out. Tapi biasa soalan dia akan keluar direct lah macam ni. Okay, dia akan keluar direct. Unless kalau soalan yang untuk degree level lah, maybe dia akan keluar yang tak sama. Okay, which you need to find the other condition punya probability. Alright, so let's try to do this calculation. Okay, determine the expected return, variance, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and which project should be taken. Why? Okay, so kita buat soalan ni. Example 1. Chapter 4, risk and return. Okay, example 1. Okay, so I no need to write again lah dia punya table tu kan. So soalan pertama, they ask you to calculate the expected return. Expected return. So what is the formula for expected return? The sum, this is sum sum ataupun total of probability times returns. Okay, so you need total up. Probability times return plus probability times return until at the three condition you total up, then you get the expected return. Okay, so we do one by one lah. Project Azia first Okay, so the expected return ataupun ER equivalent to 0.35 times 45,000 plus 0.4 times 18,000 plus 0.25 times 7,000. Okay, Okay, so you total up 0.35 times 45. 15750 plus 7200 1750 24,700. Okay, so this expected return for Asia. And then for Beza, expected return, the probability is same value. Some of the question, they provide a different probability. For Asia, different. For Beza, also different. Okay, but for this question, they provide the same or equal probability for each of the project. And then 55k plus 0.4 times 25k. Three k. Nineteen two five zero plus 10,000 plus 750. 30,000. Okay, from this expected return, so you can identify lah. Expected return, of course, they will evaluate the return. So you need to choose the highest expected return. So this will be the highest return. Highest return. Okay, compared to Asia. Okay, next, you need to calculate the variance. The variance. So what is the formula for variance? Equivalent to sum. This is symbol for sum ataupun total probability times return minus expected return power of 2. Okay, expected return ni you boleh dapat daripada atas ni lah kan. Asia and also Beza expected return. Return ni daripada table, probability also from the table. Okay, so this is the formula. So we do one by one. Asia variance 0.35, return 45,000 K power of 2. Internet saya tak ada ke? Reconnecting. Okay, you boleh nampak ke whiteboard ni? Ke line saya problem ni? Boleh nampak? Boleh Alright. Okay, so 45,000 minus 24,700. Then power of 2 times 0.35. So 1, 4, 4, 2, 3, 1, 500 plus 18,000 minus 24, 7. Power of 2 times 0.4. 17,956,000 plus 7,000 minus 24,700. Okay, dapat jawapan. Then power of 2 times 0.25. 78322.322,500 plus 17,956,000 plus 144,231,500. 240,510. Okay, so this is Azia and this is Beza. Zero point 0.35 times 55k minus 30k. Kuasa 2 0.425k minus 30k power of 2 plus 0.25 3k minus 30k power of 2. Zero point 0.35 218,750. Ten, 3, 4, 5, 6. One eight two two five zero. 218,750. 411,000,000. Okay, from this one also you can choose lah which one is the highest. So Beza, kalau soalan based on expected return, you need to make the decision, you need to choose the highest one. Okay, so this is the highest return. Highest return. Okay, in term of variance lah, kalau expected return pun Beza the highest, variance also Beza is the highest. Okay, next soalan C, question C, standard deviation. Okay, so standard deviation and coefficient of variation is the evaluation for to calculate the risk. Standard deviation. So what is the formula? Variance square root lah. Maksud dia punca kuasa 2. Okay, variance yang you dapat tadi, you just punca kuasa 2. Dapatkan standard deviation. Azia, standard deviation equivalent to 240,510 square root kuasa 2. Okay, so kena buat punca kuasa 2 dulu, then 240,510 equivalent to 15,508.38. Okay, so this is Azia, then Beza, oh 11,000,000,000 20,273.13. Okay, so if risk, you need to choose the lowest amount, the lowest value. So this is the lowest value, lowest risk. Okay, this is standard deviation. And then last number 4, coefficient of variation. CV So this Azia dulu. Sebelum tu kita tengok dia punya formula. The formula for coefficient of variation SD yang dapat dekat question number 3 tadi, SD divide by question number 1, expected return. Okay, SD divide by expected return. So Azia coefficient of variation SD how much? SD 15,508.13 tadi kan? So, ada point-point tadi, tak silap 38. Okay, so kalau kat dalam buku dia round up figure terus, kita just buat je lah, masukkan dia punya decimal point. Okay, expected return how much? 24,700. So 15,508.38 divided by 24,700. Okay, 0.63. Dia 0.627. 627. So you round up figure to decimal point 0.63. Beza. So ada times ni kat sini. Lupa. Untuk CV coefficient of variation ni mesti ada times belakang dia. Symbol. Coefficient of variation 20,273.13 divided by 30,000. Twenty to 73.13 divided by 30,000. 0.675 or 0.68 times. Okay, so you need to choose the lowest risk, which is Azia lah. Azia is they incurred the lowest risk. Lowest risk. Okay, and then the last part, which is the decision. E. Which project should be taken and why? Okay, so you buat summarize. Ni tak buat pun tak apalah kan, tapi just nak tunjuk you all bagi faham. Expected return, variance, standard deviation, coefficient of variation. This is Azia. This is Beza. Okay, expected return 24,730,000. Variance 240 510 000 411 15 508. Bukan berapa tadi? 0.38. 20,273.13. And this one 0.63 times 0.68 times. Okay, so have a look here. Kalau based on return, Beza is the best lah. Okay, tukar warna hijau Beza is the best kalau based on return. Variance also Beza is the best. But in term of risk, Azia is the lowest risk. Same goes to coefficient of variation. Okay, to choose, to make the decision, you need to look at the risk. Okay. To make decision, you need to look at lower risk. Look ataupun ni lah, choose choose at lower risk. Okay, so kalau ikutkan ni adalah Azia lah. Okay, so kalau ikut soalan ni, choose warna hitam, choose Azia since it provides the lower risk. Okay, even though the Beza they incurred the higher return. Okay, let's say if the risk both they have the same amount. Okay, contoh Azia 15,000, Beza also 15,000, same value same value 0.63, kat sini pun 0.63. Okay, so you need to choose the highest return. Kalau risk dia punya value is equal, so you need to choose. Next you need to look at the return. Which one is the highest? You need to choose that project ataupun that investment. Okay, so kalau biasanya jarang lah, mesti akan ada different amount kan, sebab dia ada saling kaitan antara expected return, variance, standard deviation and coefficient variation. Okay, dia mesti lain dia punya amount dia, value. Okay, tapi in case kata kalau dia tak bagi, dia just bagi table, standard deviation dia equal kan, amount coefficient of variation equal, expected return is the different amount lah. Okay, so you choose the highest expected return if the risk is equal, if this amount and this amount is equal. Okay, so this is example 1 lah. Okay, next. Sempat lagi kan, ada lagi setengah jam, kita buat example 2. Example 2 kita pakai whiteboard lain lah, whiteboard sebelah. Okay, example 2, Parkway Incorporated is considering an investment in one of the two projects as shown below. Okay, ada investment Zozo and investment Yoyo. Okay, so economic condition during recession. Recession tu maksud ekonomi at the bad situation lah. Okay, normal and boom. Boom is economy is in a good condition. Okay, very good condition. So there are probability and returns. So kalau you tengok table tu, each of the investment they have their own probability. Okay, ada own probability. Okay, jangan tersilap dengan pakai satu probability je lah. Okay, so kena gunakan ikut dalam soalan. Okay, so determine the following for both project: expected return, variance, standard deviation and coefficient of variation. And as a averse investor, which project should be undertaken by the firm? Risk averse investor, so you need to choose which one that you preferred. Okay, so kena tahulah risk averse investor tu type macam mana yang dia refer kan. Dia mesti, kalau dia invest on the high risk, dia mesti dapatkan high return. Kalau low risk, mesti low return. So we need to identify the risk averse investor. Okay, so we try buat untuk soalan example 2. Tebal sangat ni. Example 2. Number 1, expected return lah. Expected return. Okay, so kita ambil project Zozo So expected return equals to probability times return. Percent plus 0.3 times 14% plus 0.5 times 18%. (0.018) plus 0.042 plus 0.09. (0.148). Okay, ataupun dia round up figure kan, 15. So, kita tak perlu nak round up figure, 14.8. Okay, percent. Remember yang ni kan puluhan, so you need to convert to percentage, kena letak simbol percentage kat sini. Okay, 14.8%. Okay, next, Yoyo. 0.1 times 12% plus 0.3 times 20%, 0.6 times 17%. Zero point zero one two plus 0.06 plus 0.102. 0.174 or 17.4%. Okay, so this expected return B variance. Zo probability 0.2 times 9% minus 14.8 power of 2, 0.3, 14% minus 14.8% power of 2, 10%, 14.8% power of 2. Six point seven three, so 0.148 times 0.2. 0.192%. Five point 12%. 192 plus 6.73. Okay, 12.042%. Okay, next yo-yo. Probability 0.1, 12% minus 17.4. Ini 12 17.4% power of 2. Sorry, 0.3. 0.3, 20% minus 17.4% power of 2. 0.6, 17% minus 17.4% power of 2. 2.916% plus 2.028%. plus 0.096%. 5.04. Okay, variance. Then C, standard deviation. So variance punca kuasa 2, variance punca kuasa plus 0.42. 3.47. Okay, dia lari sikit lah sebab ini ada decimal point kan. Dalam buku tak ada decimal point. Yo ST 5.04. Two point two four four. Okay, 2.25 lah, 2.25. Next, D, standard deviation, coefficient of variation. So bahagian ST divided by expected return. 3.47 divided by expected return 15. Expected return 14.8. 0.23 times yo 2.25 divided by expected return 17.4. Zero point 0.13 times. Okay, so based on the risk averse investor, so which project should be undertaken? Okay, based on the calculation above, investment yo should be undertaken by the firm because it is less risky since it has a lower standard deviation and coefficient of variation. Okay, so kalau buat summary dulu lah, nak tunjuk you all kan. Decision expected return, variation, standard deviation, coefficient of variation. $14.8, $17.4. This is Zozo. You 14.8, 17.4. Variation 12,042,504. 12,042,504. 12,042,504. Standard deviation 3.47, 2.25. kat bawah ni, sorry. Then 0.13, 0.23. Okay, in term of return, this is the highest. Ini tak, kan, this is not. This highest. In term of risk, this is lower risk, this is lower risk. Okay, so kalau ikut risk averse investor, dia kalau invest on the high risk punya investment, so dia akan expect untuk dapatkan high return. Okay, so kalau ikut expected return is very high. Okay, kan, risk averse investor, tengok balik definition risk averse investor tadi. Risk averse, okay, investor who demand a higher expected return bearing a higher return. Expected return dia need to higher, kan, this one higher, and then they expect to bearing a higher risk. Kalau ikut sini yang higher risk, kan, sini yang higher risk, this is lower risk. So, kalau ikut dia punya ni, dia punya calculation, dia punya definition dia, explanation dia is investment yo-yo should be taken by the firm because it is less risky. Okay, less risky, betul lah, less risky sebab dia punya value is lower, kan, lower, this value is lower to compare to this less risky, because of the lower standard deviation and coefficient of variance. Tapi dia tak explain pun that this particular investment they incurred the higher return. Okay, sebab kalau dalam risk averse investor, okay, definition dia, they acquired the higher return based on the risk that they bear. Okay, they expect, investor who demand a higher expected return bearing a higher risk. Mungkin dia tak menjawab soalan lah yang ni. Okay, kalau teori parts, you kena very careful lah. But this time, this semester, still using the multiple choice question. Okay, so dia tak adalah soalan subjektif, kan. Kenapa you nak choose this one, kan? Kalau risk averse, so what your explanation on that answer. Okay, so just straightforward lah. Right. Okay, sempat tak buat past year question? Kalau past year question, dia straightforward lah. Yang tak ada yang pelik-pelik lah. Dia punya soalan-soalan ni memang straightforward. This chapter is very straightforward calculation. So you tahu dia formula, you remember dia punya formula, you dah boleh jawab soalan. Okay, tapi kena careful lah. Kalau expected return jawapan salah, yang lain semua dia akan dapat jawapan salah sebab dia ada saling kaitan. Daripada expected return, you need to calculate variance, kan. Then you calculate your standard deviation and coefficient of variation. Okay, the first parts dia expected return tu need to accurate, kena correct lah you punya answer. Okay, tak apa, nanti saya bagi soalan tutorial lah. Okay, saya bagi soalan tutorial by next week. By next week kita akan buat soalan tutorial. Okay, alright, so that's it for this chapter lah, chapter risk and return. So far you all have any question to ask before we end up our class today?
No, sir.
Harap you all faham kalau